The other thing that people often ask me as I'm going around doing this is, do children do this?
Oh, man.
And you're collecting stories on that.
Oh, man. Go, keep.
But I'd love to have you tell the story about Big Jesus.
Oh, that's so cool. But, did you have anything you wanted to tell first? Because if you got me going on that one, you got to flag me if I go too long, sweetheart.
I just love that.
We could tell Jesus, Immanuel with children's stories for a while. Yeah. Oh, I was going to read that email again before I came tonight. Shoot.
Okay.
So you help me.
Okay.
You help fill it in. So 2-3-year-old little bitty kid, and was having nightmares, but not. Basically, would get scared in his bedroom at night and claimed there was monsters in there, and I think my assessment would be there was some kind of demonic harassment, because just all the data fit that way. I mean, to make a real long story short. So this kid, basically can't stay in his bedroom. He gets really frightened, screaming, crying, says there's monsters, comes into his parents' bedroom over and over again, and nothing else works. And the mom, this is actually, the context here is, this guy's like 3 now. I can't remember if he was 2 then, but he was either 2 or 3. And that's pretty young to do a very sophisticated Immanuel session with. And his language is actually a little slow, so he had only a handful of words. So that's harder to do. Can you go to a positive memory and tell me about it so you feel appreciation? But the family is doing Immanuel. The mom is just living that. So she had a lot of faith about that. She's very familiar with the idea of Jesus is here. He's tangible. We can ask him for help. You can experience his presence. They're doing it in their church. Fascinating idea. Sunday school, they've kind of gotten the regular routine of doing positive memory appreciation at the beginning of Sunday school, and to get all the kids' relational circuits on. And what they found is when you get with the kids have their relational circuits on at the beginning of Sunday school, it turns out a lot better. So in the context of all that, with the faith, that's in the family, that's in the community, that's in their church, the kids having the night, it's not waking up in the middle of the night with screaming. It's like he goes in his bed at night in the dark and he's seeing monsters. So it really does fit. It's not really nightmares. It's not night terrors for those who know what those are. It looked like he's basically got demons in his bedroom who are bullying him. And so the mom says, well, hey, let's do the Jesus prayer thing. Would you be willing to let Jesus be with you or help you? And he's like, well, no, Jesus is a monster too. So not only have they been bullying him, but this is a big surprise, demons lie. And they'd not only been frightening him and bullying him, but they had gotten him to believe too that, and Jesus is a bad guy too. So he was afraid to ask Jesus for help. I mean, isn't that brilliant in a sort of evil way? So the mom's like, oh, wow. And just sort of being just saturated in the whole Immanuel sort of lifestyle. She's just real simple, basic 2-year-old with just barely any language. Jesus, can you just help my son know the truth about you? And the kid just kind of pauses. Big Jesus. And then all his fears went away, which was very cool. And then what was interesting is for the next several weeks, he would walk or he'd be in the middle of something or walk into the room and just say, oh, big Jesus, and then Jesus like me. It was like, big Jesus, and he likes me. So this 2-year-old with only a handful of words gets that, Big Jesus, like me. And then 2 days later, he walks in the room, Mommy, Jesus like you. And then 2 days later, he comes in, Daddy, Jesus like you. And it seemed like for weeks, the Lord was just showing this kid, that I like you and other people. And he'd be like upset with somebody, and then he'd be like, Jesus like him too, Jesus like Aunt. So, and the Lord is like showing this 2-year-old or 3-year-old, hey, I'm with you. I'm bigger than the bad guys. I like you. And by the way, I like everybody else in your life too. And like for weeks, he would just pop out with this.